Lawrence.
Yeah, hi.
Found you again. Luke, WeAreChange.
Oh,
Good
hi.
to see you. How's everything?
Oh, right. Who was it? My nephew, who loves your work.
He does.
Oh, yes. And I think shares most of your views. Although, you know, it changes a little bit all the time. I think he was 100% with you on some of those. No, he was actually, we were sitting down here after the show the other night with two of my brothers, my nephew, and others. And my nephew was explaining, who is 27-ish, right? Was explaining to me that he had seen us, you know, on the line. And then the fun part was him explaining to my brothers what our discussion was about, you know. But yeah, that's funny. We just talking about you specifically 2 nights ago.
That's very interesting. I never even knew we had that much reach and clout.
No, a lot of people. I get a fair amount of comments about it.
Good comment, bad comment. I mean,
no good. I mean, I think I think these conversations are important. You know, and I think our last conversation was for me more illuminating and you know,
there's definitely more
filled
productive.
with. I mean, there's a very basic element here, which is not everybody can cover or everything.
Of
You
course,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we're all kind of relying on different energies coming from all sorts of different places, and I mean this in a good way, different obsessions. You know, there are people who are obsessed with taxpayers, people who are obsessed with defense spending, and that's good. You know, and really grabbing onto something and staying with it. You know, and trying ideas. You know, and so
we all have our different particular expertise, and we all go different things, and I think that's great. At the same time, it's also good to share and also talk about different things.
And I think that what you're about is something that people should be about, which is, I mean, actively trying to upset the way people think. And I mean that in a positive. Yeah. Upset is a positive word in a lot of situations, you know. Yeah. And you don't want people to just very relaxedly assume a set of facts about the world, about the shape of the world, and all that. And what you're doing, takes a lot of work, a lot of digging to agree with you or disagree, and to disagree with you intelligently and in an informed way. Most of us do all the time is we're just kind of like leaning on our guts for one view or the other of what the situation is, and so no, it's fun. So you're everywhere.
I try to be. I try to be.
Why are you here? You're everywhere. Yeah. When I see one of these trucks, you're around the corner at a presidential debate, right? Yeah. Every presidential debate. Yeah. That's where I've seen you. Every time we've seen each other in a presidential debate, right?
Well, I started as 17 as a journalist, and I always had many questions about the world.
Where do you live?
Brooklyn, New York. So.
You're nowhere near Brooklyn.
I know. We just drove up here. We literally just got here. We were just walking around, and we just ran into you.
Oh, good.
Which is awesome. But what we were talking about before, I think we need to kind of delve into issues that are not really talked about because there's a reason they're kind of not talked about. I don't know if you heard about the New York report about the New York Times Monday. Sadly, was really overshadowed because of what happened here Monday. But it was a bipartisan investigation into Obama and Bush that specifically said that they're legally liable and criminally liable for the torture that they have committed.
I was literally like halfway through that piece when this thing happened here. And that's kind of a perfect example of the way human attention works in the real world. Yeah. And I literally have not thought about it since I heard about this thing in Boston until now. I gotta take a hungry crew to get something to eat.
Well, it's great seeing you again. We'll see each other again. I don't want.
I think your concern, the question you're asking about, Espionage Act and this stuff with journalists, is a very serious concern that should be pursued and should be worried about all the way through.
It's hard covering this stuff. You know it too. It's really hard.
It is. And would you ever do a story about the NDAA or drone strikes?
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do a whole interview